Well, hey everyone, welcome to the ASP Connection podcast. Really grateful that you decided to tune in and listen with us. I've got Brian Stern with me today. Brian Stern is one of our business development managers here at All Star, and his role on the team is just to work directly with our members and try to identify different savings opportunities for items that our members purchase through All Star. So, Brian, thanks for taking time to join us on the podcast.
My pleasure, Seth.
So, Brian, I mentioned already you work closely with our members to identify savings opportunities, but also you work with companies that are outside of All Star that are maybe interested in joining All Star as members. And I imagine in those initial conversations with those member companies, the question probably comes up from them, what exactly does All Star do? When you get that question, how do you respond to that?
You start with, we're a GPO or group purchasing organization, and you still kind of get a blank look a little bit. And so I try to find something that relates to people, what they know about. And so if you think of Costco and Sam's Club, the larger package size you buy, the better unit price you get. All Star's model is very similar. So we have 300 members across the country buying many like items, whether it's sweeteners or packaging or whatever. And so we're using that combined volume to get a better unit price for each individual location.
Okay. So for companies that are using All Star a lot, current members that utilize different purchasing programs that we offer, what are the primary benefits that you see those companies receiving by participating in our purchasing programs?
Yeah, so even for the ones who've been with us for a while, the savings are always there. When they joined, the savings were immediate and they've continued since then. But really, what we see here lately with supply chain issues is a continuity of supply. In many cases, we have multiple suppliers for each item. And so if your primary supplier can't come through, we may have a backup qualified that can do that. So that's been very valuable in the last couple of years with all the supply chain issues.
Yeah. So can you give any specific examples or concrete examples of maybe recent circumstances where we've been able to step in and provide value like this for a member company?
Yeah, for sure. We had a member, Seth, that has a few locations. They're in different states, and they came to us and wanted to do an RFQ for all their cleaning and sanitation supplies. And obviously, they're busy running their day-to-day business. And so we met with them and learned all their pain points, what their goals and targets were. They were using multiple suppliers for the different locations. So we were able to bring in suppliers for visits, gather quote information, and then present that to them so they can make an informed decision on what would work best for their situation. And in the end, it worked out great. They got a great supplier with good product and also found double-digit percentage savings. So it was a good news story all the way around.
Yeah, that's awesome. So for a company that's listening in to this podcast episode, and maybe they're a current member that isn't really using many programs of ours, or maybe they're a company that's kind of dipping their toe in the water, they're trying to figure out if they want to join All Star or not. What's the best next step for companies that are in that position?
It's as easy as what you and I are doing right now, Seth. Let's just have a conversation, right? Give us a call. Tell us what you're going through, what you need. Is it a new project? Do you want to do an RFQ like I just mentioned? Whatever the situation is, either myself or my counterpart Jessica, who handles the western part of the U.S., we're ready to go to work and help our members with whatever they need.
Absolutely. And what I will add on to that is, if you're not sure who your assigned business development manager is, if you're an existing member of All Star,
Mhm.
or if you're not a part of All Star, you can reach out via email to our general email address, info@allstarpurchasing.com. And we'd be happy to have that conversation with you that way as well. To wrap up our time, Brian, what's something that you've been thankful for lately, whether it's personally or professionally?
I think on the professional side, Seth, it's like I mentioned, it's the relationships we have with our members. It's not transactional, it's more of a friendship that we have. And so with all these issues with supply here lately, that's been much easier to work through because people aren't calling up and just yelling at you about stuff not getting there, which is never fun, right? But they know we're serious about trying to find a solution. And we're here to work with the suppliers as well. They've been very supportive. So that friendship that we have and a partnership with our members has been very valuable.
Sure. Well, Brian, appreciate you. Thanks for taking time to hop on the podcast with us.
You got it, Seth.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the ASP Connection podcast. If you heard anything that stuck out to you that was especially interesting that you'd like to learn more about, reach out to us via email at podcast@allstarpurchasing.com. We'd love to continue that conversation with you. For general company updates, this podcast is a great place to start, but also make sure that you follow us at All Star Purchasing on LinkedIn. We post regular company updates there as well. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.